All right, folks, we should be live. Check it out. This is DGL7. Today I have a very special guest on, a friend of mine. His name is Raul Rivera. We've been out doing activist stuff. Lately, he just sent me a text message about something he was some guy named Subway DJ decided to try to clown Raul Rivera. I saw some of the comments. They were actually kind of disturbing. Didn't really, but let's get to the, I had some questions for him, but also I just want to pop on y'all. Raul's actually helped me when I actually, and also helped someone named Corey Edens when we went to City Hall to actually address some abuse that's going on in the educational system. Raul actually helped us film some. So he's been a friend. He's taking on many important issues such as congestion pricing. He's actually been a very strong lead. I can't think of anybody besides himself and Christopher Leon Johnson who have done really more to fight congestion pricing. Really appreciate him for that. So he has a body of work that I respect. And recently you were at City Hall, which you've been at City Hall many times, testifying. But in this case, I saw some footage. Is it all right if I share it with the audience?
Yes, share it. We put it
Okay,
out
so
there.
no problem. I'm about to put this, put it on the live stream. Give me a second while I get this opened.
This footage is from yesterday. It's uncut and it's raw.
Okay, so this is great because you can actually provide some information about this. So let me see, present this. I'm going to share the screen. X denied, I believe is the correct one. Okay, yeah, let's check this out right here. So boom.
You do not get access to the press rosters. If you would like to attend the hearing, you can go upstairs and sit in the gallery.
But you never been before. I've been there 2 times already.
But right now, you cannot have access to that.
Okay, then why?
So it's basically the security guy saying you're not allowed in the building, right?
Well, he's saying I'm not allowed into the chambers. So at City Hall, when they're having a stated meeting, the only ones allowed on the floor are the council members and their staff, and anyone holding a valid press pass. And I have the credentials.
Okay. Do you think that they do you think there's a reason why they didn't let you in? Was it a certain topic, or was it that you think you're just generally banned for life, or what's going on here?
I'm not banned for life. What's going on is that they're retaliating against me, and it's the speaker who gets the blame because she's the one hosting the stated meeting along with the other council members. So the council members are all there. There may be one or two that are not there because they
Okay, so
can't
some
make.
topic you're known for actually, right, pushing hard on, like congestion pricing, and I really
Well,
appreciate you
well,
for that.
well,
Uh,
it's sometimes it doesn't even have to be a single issue. The fact is that I am
was
a
this
native.
event on congestion pricing?
No, this was a stated meeting. So every month I'll have one or two stated meetings where they're gonna vote on bills that are being that have been drafted, that have been voted on. So they either gonna pass the bill or not. They're gonna have the yes or no responses from the council members. That's why all council members show up.
Okay. What other issues do you know which issues were being voted on that day? Were you going there for a
I
specific reason, or
I did not, but you can always when you go to stated meeting, you can always go on the city council website and you'll get the agenda sheet about the bills that they're going to speak on that day, and the public is welcome to come there. You're able to come there and sit upstairs in the balcony. You can't
okay?
sit down. You
Did you
cannot
get
sit.
the balcony?
What was that?
Is this you in the balcony?
Yes, that's me in the
So,
balcony.
so
Because
you
I
did
did.
get into the balcony. I didn't see this part.
Right. So I did leave and I came back. I said, you know what? Let me stay. Let me stay. So
Okay,
my thing is, if you look at the floor where they are, towards the front, towards the left, there's a little stage there for the media, and I've been there two
right
times.
here.
Right. And so I've been there two
Sometimes they
times.
have it on the right. Yeah, I've seen it on the right as well. But
Yes,
okay,
there's one. Yes, there's actually three locations, one on the left and two on the right. But the thing is, I have the right as a press card holder to be there, and I've been there two times in the past, and they didn't stop me. But I think because who I am as an advocate, they're trying to mesh my press pass with my advocacy work, and they're trying to use my advocacy work against me, and they're not supposed to. I already reached out to the press office who issued the press pass in the past. The NYPD used to issue the press pass. Now City Hall is issuing the press pass, and I'm concerned because now they're taking advantage of it and they're blocking people who they don't agree with, and that's the issue with me. I am completely vocal. I am not paid by anyone. I don't have a nonprofit, and they know that we called them out. And like I've said before, many times, in the city council, we have black people, we have Puerto Rican people, we have Dominicans, we have Asians, and I say it that way. I say it
Have
that
you heard of
because it's
something called county committee?
county committee. What about county committee?
You should run for that.
I'm not interested in being a politician. I'm interested in being an advocate. I'm trying to find work. I just got unemployed. I'm trying to find work. That's what I'm a worker. I've been working since I was 17. A lot of people want me to run for city council and stuff like that, but there's a lot of griminess and dirtiness in politics, and you can see it. And the city
County committee
count.
is like the size of 2 blocks, and it allows you to have it like allows you to start knowing who the judges are.
Yeah, I know. I just don't. I don't know if I'm interested in that. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I could be. I don't know if I could be authentic if I'm gonna be a politician. I don't
There
think
is no politician. There's almost half the seats are uncontested. Like you just but you have to understand the petitioning process, and if you want to get certain things done, then it helps if like if you want to fight
Well,
congestion pricing, right, for these
well,
things. I
right,
just
right,
want to get
but listen. This is the way I see it. Why do I have to run for office when we already have people that already did it? That we have people that are in office and they're saying that they are fighting for
committee is much
us.
smaller.
What was that?
County committee is much smaller. It's only the
I,
size of
I
like 2 blocks. It's not really like city council.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm interested in it. Maybe we could talk about that later, but I'm not right now. I don't think I am. My issue is advocacy. My issue is bringing light to the things that are happening in our city. For instance, we've been fighting for the taxi driver for the last 7 years, and we got bills drafted. I mean, you heard people say, "Speak up, fight back, advocate, raise your voice." You heard all those expressions before, and I'm living proof. I've been doing it for 7 years, and we've been able our small group, which is not signed up as a nonprofit, called NYC Drivers Unite, has been able to draft a few bills for the benefit of the driver. We got a petition that was signed by the mayor and many elected officials, and we've been doing our part. But now we've run into a situation where it's a different level of advocacy. Now we have to advocate against our phony politicians because they say they speak for us, but they do not. And then when you go to the stated meetings and you hear the speaker speak and you hear these council members speak, they almost hate this country. You can see the way that they speak. They hate this country. They
So there's this
speak.
job called Canvasser that I think is opening right now. So I'm gonna let you know about that one. Yeah. There's also some petitioning jobs available. I'm gonna put you on right now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll let you know about those. But I also want to talk about okay, so wait, I do want to see if this issue's settling. So do you think that this is their new like plan for you to like always make you sit like either in the audience, like behind, and to try to keep you from having access to the press area?
Well, now it seems like they don't want to honor my press pass. But the Speaker Adams she says she's condemning the President of the United States, Donald Trump, because they're trying to deport Mahmoud Khalil. They're trying to deport him, who is not a citizen, who has a green card, and they're saying that his First Amendment rights are being violated. But they're hypocrites because I'm an American citizen. I was born actually in this city, and
Okay, so
and I'm being blocked. So you gotta listen. You gotta listen to what they're saying and then watch what they're doing. So they're defending
so
this guy. They're defending this guy, right? But when it
I did
comes,
actually ask you about that on the phone,
yeah,
and I want to actually re-ask this question because I asked you to actually come on talk about exactly this issue.
yeah,
Now the thing is that as a former cab driver, right? Yeah, like I understand like why you're doing the drivers unit. I understand why congestion pricing or like you're involved in traffic and things like that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But as in terms of this whole like Israel Palestine thing, right? Like, why do you're not Jewish or Palestinian, correct? Maybe you are.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm Puerto Rican. Yeah, and I'm Puerto Rican. I'm an
So
American. I'm a native New
why
Yorker. You
why
don't
you
have
there's so many issues out there, right? You got Congolese people, you got Haitians, right? Why do
right.
you care about this issue?
I care about this issue because they're burning our American flags on the streets of New York City, and that's uncalled for.
Well,
They
I
are
didn't.
they
Sorry to see that.
There's plenty of video of that happening, and even though it's protected by the First Amendment, as an American citizen, you should be smart
I don't
enough not.
agree with it, but
Yeah, I don't
but
agree with it
why,
either. I don't.
why does it even matter? You know what I mean? Like,
I believe
if
the
they want
court.
to burn their own shit up, like that's up to them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not burning up my flag. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I believe that the courts acknowledge that it is a First Amendment right to burn the flag because it's a freedom of expression,
Hey, look,
which
if they
is.
want to do it right, like that's their flag. You know what I mean? Like I have my flag, and
Well, I
mine.
think if I I think if, even though if it's a freedom of expression, that doesn't mean you always have to express yourself in that form. You have to show some respect to this country. As much as you may hate America, I personally don't hate America. I was born here. I live here. I don't like to hear people say "death to America." So that's where it come. That's where these protesters come in. When you say "death to America,"
They
when
saying
you
that? There's
yes,
probably there's some of them saying that maybe.
huh?
There might be some of them saying, but they're always some weirdo, right? Yeah, in the Trump ones, they
Right.
always
But
find some weirdo.
if there's gonna be a if there's gonna be a
It's like they're not all like that. I'm sure. There's no way.
right. Right. I'm not saying they are, but if they're okay with it, if they cool with that, I'm not cool with that. So if there's gonna be a few that are gonna say it, I'm gonna speak out
Maybe
because
they lost. Maybe they lost someone they know. Right? Like you do know. Like do you know what they're going through? Do you know what
it doesn't matter if they lost somebody. It doesn't they don't have the right to say death to America. They don't have the right to burn our flag. They don't have to preach hatred towards this country. You know what I mean? So that's the reason I get involved. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be about Israel or Palestine or whatever. What's it? Hamas has been designated as a terrorist organization. So I
Okay,
think
so
the biggest problem that Gaza has and Palestine is Hamas. These
okay,
these
so
these people that are protesting here in the streets who have cell phones, these women that are here that are part of the protest, they
how do
can't.
you feel about just how close are you with Puerto Rico? Kind of close, not really. I'm not really that close with Korea. I'll tell you the truth.
We stand for Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is a commonwealth. It's part of the U.S. But my
Well, how do
point
you
is,
feel about the Vieques situation?
hold on a second, because you're going too far. I didn't get to finish what I was saying.
All right, go ahead.
I wanted to point out that you know there's many people that are fighting in this city, in this country, for Palestine, right? And a lot of these women, I point out the female gender because uh, these women would be oppressed if they were in Palestine. They would not be respected. They probably wouldn't be able to own cell phones there. They wouldn't be to be able to shout and scream the way they doing it here. They can do that because they're in the USA. That's why they can do that. That's the beauty of this
Well,
country.
okay, I'll be honest with you, right? First of all, like I'm not the only, I do just so you know, I do feel sympathetic to the Palestine situation. I don't know
Yeah.
this guy Mahmoud Khalil. I don't know what happened to him. Honestly, he's at Columbia, which was filled with CIA type of business. There's a lot of schools where things went down. Why is all this stuff happening at Columbia? I find it very suspicious. I don't
Y-
trust anything. And
Well,
being a Korean American who's on the same timeline as government interference as
you know
this
that
guy in Palestine,
you
I
know
would
that
say don't believe anything. I don't believe anything. Like I don't know why you do. I don't believe about
I don't
any
know.
of it. All around it. All around it is cloudy with foreign government interference. You don't think there's foreign students like government agents like going to frickin' Columbia University as exchange students? I 100% guarantee there are. What do you think, Raul?
You have to pick.
What do you think?
You have to pick
Yeah,
a side. You have to pick a side. It doesn't matter if they got secret agents or whatever. Maybe that's for the benefit of the country.
no, I don't
Eh,
trust anything. It seems
mm,
I only trust the people that I actually interact with and work with. You know what I mean? Like other than that, like if they say something's happened, look at what they said about Trump, right? Like, do you believe that? Like, you know what I mean? Don't believe anything, right? Like unless you're actually that's just how I operate. So I'm
well,
not mad at you. Believe whatever you want. I'm not saying you're wrong to believe it. But
I'm
the
not
way
saying.
I operate is I only trust, right? That's why I trust you because I know that we have worked together. I know what you've been reliable, right? Yeah. And if you call me, I'll show up, man. I got you. You know what I mean?
Uh,
But Trump, right? Even Trump, I shook his hand once, but I actually fist bumped him, but I've never spoke to him, never really interacted with him. I know I don't trust anything about anything. I'm
well,
sorry, especially
that that's
unless I'm
okay.
first interacting with them. Also,
That
just one thing I want to add is Christopher Leon Johnson also supports Mahmoud Khalil, I think.
I know, I've seen that.
So, like there's gonna be people with different layers of
It's not this is
opinion.
this is
Right.
let me tell you how it works. We have laws in this country. You have to obey the laws. If you break the laws, you're gonna get into a lot of trouble. And people get sued left and right. If this Mahmoud Khalil is innocent, he has lawyers. They already donated. I believe they did a GoFundMe that has, I think, millions of dollars in it. It has plenty of money, so he could
There's a
defend
lot of
himself.
people who aren't getting help. I mean, there's a lot of other people
Well,
that
but I know, but
this
we
I find the whole thing suspect. He made a deal with the administrators. He's the one who cut a deal and said, okay, we'll stop taking over the property or whatever they was doing, right? Whatever they didn't like, or the encampment. He's the
well
one who ended it, isn't he?
right. But I don't know that. I don't know
Supposedly. I don't
that.
believe that either. I don't believe anything about this story. If he's the one who ended it, why would he be? It seems weird, doesn't it? Like, I don't trust
Well,
anyone.
well, that's why. Well, if you don't trust nobody, I mean,
Does it
that's a
make sense
horrible.
to you?
Yeah, but that's a horrible way to
He's the one
live.
who
That's
ended it.
Listen. That's a
He's a
horrible.
collaborator.
Listen, just because you trust a person or you trust someone doesn't mean that you're a sucker. And you're an imbecile and you don't have common
Maybe they're
sense.
installing a spy. I don't know.
Hold on a second. Hold on,
You know,
because
they can do whatever they want.
I'm talking about Mahmoud Khalil. That guy,
I
he's
don't know
been.
that.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. He
Yeah,
was arrested. He was arrested.
I got enough
He
for it.
he's been arrested. He's gonna have his day in court, and
Okay,
he has money. He
okay.
has people. He has a lot of supporters. If he's innocent, they'll let him go. If he's guilty, they'll deport him. But you have to remember, he's not an American citizen. A green card doesn't make you an American citizen. It's not the same. It's not equal to citizenship in this country. And if you came here to study, that's what you do. You come here to study. But if they find otherwise, that he came here to study and to protest and to be an infiltrator, then and he got caught, he's gonna get sent back. If his wife is American, that doesn't give him a pass. It doesn't matter if he's gonna have a baby. None
Oh,
of that.
okay. So interesting. All right. So this particular Khalil situation is one that you feel personally strongly about, and that's totally fine.
When they say death to America, they're talking about me and you, brother. You was born here, right? Was you born here in the U.S.?
Yeah.
You was, right?
Yeah.
So you're an American citizen. So when they say death to America, they're talking about you and me. And you come from Asian descent, and I come from Puerto Rican descent. But they still saying death to America. That's me and you, brother. If you believe in the Quran, or you believe in
If I hear them
Islam,
saying it, if they say it around me, then I'm not gonna really be happy about that.
but they
Like,
but they but they've
I'm
been saying
yeah,
it.
they can't say
Islam
it around me,
Islam
but
is de-
I'm
Islam
not close to those spots. But okay.
without getting into religion, but Islam is all about Islam and death to all religions. No?
Listen, Puerto Ricans are fighters too. Like why
Yeah,
would
but we
we?
don't say death to Islam, and we don't say death to the Jews. We
I'm
don't
trying to.
say death to America. Even Puerto Rico's had issues with the
Listen,
United States.
my recommendation, just being Korean American, like not saying that I represent all Koreans, but
Yeah.
just don't trust anything around any of this, right? Like just understanding how my own history was manipulated and also is still being manipulated by Democrats. I'm sorry to say, which I've
Yeah,
screamed about and tried
but
to
but
change many times.
but we live in this country. We gotta make this is our home, and we have to make it
Okay,
better. Nobody
who's
said America was perfect.
quick question? Yeah, who's the most probably outstanding Asian American that you know in history?
Asian American?
Yeah, Asian American. Yeah, so that's only 200 years. Bruce fucking Lee, right? He's the fucking man, right? Am I right or wrong?
Uh, yeah, but I don't know if he was a politician though.
Look, it's totally cool though, but they took him out of the fucking there was an Asian American history that's being taught mandatory in New York City schools. They
Yeah,
removed Bruce Lee and put in Anime Wong, a woman who played like basically a hooker, a Chinese hooker. It's disgusting.
yeah.
And they removed a powerful figure. Why? Like this is disgusting. You know what I mean? And
No, I'm a big supporter of Bruce Lee. I have all his
they erased him from
DVDs.
history.
Yeah,
Yo, it's disgusting. Okay, I'm sorry. So look, we all have our priorities, right? Like I'm not mad at you, right? Like personally, like maybe you know some stuff that I don't, right? But anyways, let's talk about so our business. I saw this post that you sent to me by this guy, Subway DJ, whatever. And I saw a lot of the comments there, and I don't know if you read the comments, but I was like,
Yeah, they were calling me Joe Pesci and they were bashing me. It's okay. It doesn't matter. I don't take
yeah.
it.
And
I
then
don't,
when you see what happened to Savannah Craven recently, you know what I mean? Like
to who?
Savannah Craven,
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. I met
yeah,
her
like,
once. I
punched
met her
in the
once.
fucking face like multiple times. You know what I mean?
That's precisely it.
You
That's
gotta
where
start working out, man. I'm just
that's
saying.
that's where the ignorance
There's
come.
all the
I'm ready.
aggressive
Trust me. I'm
right now.
ready. I'm ready.
I
I'm
don't
ready.
want. I'm sorry, it has to be that way, and it's
I'm
they're the
ready.
ones really being aggressive.
I won't have
Sorry,
to use a lot of strength. Trust me. I won't have to use a lot of strength, and they will get locked up.
better get strong.
They will get locked up. There was one that was already. There was two that assaulted me, and they both got locked up. I'm an American citizen. If you
Oh,
touch
that
me, you go.
they assaulted you? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, the video's there. The video's there. The guy's got a
I
court
didn't
date.
watch to the end. Oh
Do you
wait,
know?
wait. Is that no Subway DJ? His video did not have any violence in it, but there
Yeah,
is one.
there's one where. Well,
They'll take it down though.
there's no,
Is
no,
it
no,
on
no.
YouTube?
No, there's a video that I have that I recorded the guy that attacked me. I was holding a Trump banner and he came from behind. This
Oh,
guy wasn't
he snatched your banner. I saw that.
he wasn't no, you didn't see it because there wasn't no, that's a different one.
Oh, that's a difference.
That was fully square. We're talking about this past Monday. So this past Monday they had that rally from the United Nations to Central Grand Central, and I had my banner there, and I was the counter protester, and everybody from the Israeli groups that were protesting against the Palestinians, they all left, but I stood behind by myself, and the guy came from behind. He was walking his dog. He was not even part of the rally, and he snatched my banner. And I turn around. I'm trying to fight this guy to keep my banner, and the cops come right in. He did it right in front of the cops. They was not too smart, and they arrested him. And now he's got a court date for assault and attempt robbery because you don't do that. You don't do that. That's the problem with this. That's the problem with these protesters. They doing this type of stuff. They have the right to protest for Gaza and fight if they want to do that. That's fine. But you can't assault people. You can't say death to America. You can't disrespect the NYPD the way they doing it like that. It's just disgusting, you know. And New York is fed up. They were throwing feces off from the rooftops onto these protesters. Did you see those videos?
I actually saw. I heard about something like
I
that.
was there. I was right there. You could see they got videos. People actually throwing bags of feces down onto the protesters, and they were getting hit with it. I was okay because I was across the street. But this is, you know, this is the New York is fed up with this stuff. You know, you got to be. Everybody forgot about 9/11. How everybody came together when 9/11 happened. This is our
You know, I
country.
tell you the
This is our
truth.
home.
When I was back in college and stuff, I didn't really have a problem with socialists and communists. In fact, even recently, even nowadays, I guess theoretically I wouldn't have a problem with it. But to tell you the truth, the reality of, I'm sorry to say it, right? A lot of them have this idea that they want to be revolutionaries. And I'm not saying right, yeah, but I want you to think about this, right? Like I'm actually a child of revolution. Like my family, right, was actually upended. There's like a lot of violence, a lot of people died, there's a lot of suffering. Why would you have revolution if you have an election? Like dead serious. Like why not vote? Why not? You know, I mean, do you need to have a freaking revolution? So what happens is that a lot of these, professors and these academics that are taking over socialist and communist groups, and I want y'all to think about that, you young kids. Where's the workers at? Okay, right? Raul, he was in a McDonald's. He was a McDonald's security guard. I ran for McDonald's. You know, I mean, he's a working guy. Where's the workers at in your organization? Why are all the leaders affluent, right, in academia, right? You start asking yourself some questions. They're not true to what they're talking about. Also, right, the thing is that they want to have a revolution, so they say all this bad things about America. I'm not saying, right, that America's perfect or that, you can't be trying to change things, right? Like, honestly, I'm Palestine, like, sympathizer. But, and even, Raul, you said it yourself, right? Like, it's okay that they could think what they want, right? This is America. But you don't like them saying death to America. I think that's fair, right? But, that even when they say that, that can mean different things to them. But, honestly, when they
No,
step up, like,
you can't say that. You can't.
yeah,
They
I
could
saw,
think whatever they want, but you don't say that. Those are
I
threats.
saw Savannah bleeding all over the place. Like I've had my nose broken. So and
I was
everything
maced. I
got
was
healing.
maced. I was maced in my eye a few months ago, and it was a black guy that did it.
Well, look, mankind is meant to like face adversity, and we have to stay strong. So eventually, that's the world we live in. So
Listen. In the city council, they are defending Mahmoud Khalil. They're defending his First Amendment right when he's not a citizen. But me, an American, a citizen of this city, holding a press pass, are being denied access at City Hall. So that's what people need to know. All right, the hypocrisy, and that's coming from Speaker Adams and from our council members who are Puerto Rican, Black, Dominican, and Asian. That's who it is. It's not the white man. When they want to blame the white man, they don't have a leg to stand on. All right, because it's them that are blocking our bills. It's them who are blocking me and assaulting and coming after me. They are the ones. All right. So all you got to do is look. All you got to
yeah,
do is look. They have no right. They contradict themselves. The speaker and several council members had a press conference on Wall Street, right in front of the Trump building, to do a propaganda press conference. That's what I called it. It's a propaganda press conference attacking the tariffs, attacking the president, right in New York City, in front of one
you
of
see
his
this,
buildings.
you see this right here. You see this
Yes,
right?
yes. I
Okay.
can't.
This right here is a list of all the addresses of all the registered Republicans, like, in certain areas. Have them for multiple areas, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, I have the entire city, but I've actually been working several different areas, including my own, right where I'm at right now, right?
right.
And when I want certain votes to go down in my district, right, which is just 2 city blocks large, I know who thinks what, and I can selectively go to those doors and ask people
Hmm.
to vote in certain ways, and I can potentially deliver districts for certain directions.
Yeah.
I've already
I,
spoken to Republicans. I should talk with Democrats too eventually as well, right? But I'm gonna talk with all the registered voters and be able to control what happens in my district. Then you're gonna get what you want, man. If you can control the votes, you will be actually a staffer. You'll be cut in. You'll be able to everything. Without power, there will be no justice.
yeah.
But once you can I'm not saying you be a whole politician. I'm not saying run for city council. That's too much. Just know what's going on in your little 2 block radius electorally and be the king of that little shit,
Yeah.
and then you'll be set. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
There's a lot of
we'll talk about it. I'll consider it. I'll consider
yeah,
it, but
yeah.
but I have power in my voice, and I speak English and I speak Spanish.
Oh, you're great
I,
there.
I'm
Yeah.
55. I have 55 years of history in this city, and and when they feeding you BS, BS. I mean, I look at everyone as being intelligent. You know what I mean? I look at everyone as having common sense, that when somebody feeds you BS, that you can distinguish the BS. And if you want to call out the BS, then you should have that right. And then the thing is, in the city, there's too many people staying silent. Understand? So that when a law is created, it's to protect the minority, because the majority is always in agreement. And right now I'm the minority when I go to City Hall, but this country voted for Trump. This city hates Trump, and they hate this country, and they preaching hatred towards this country. That's not right. When we lose our freedoms here, everything's gone. This is where we
Do they
live.
really hate Trump, or is it just a strategy?
What was that?
Do they really hate Trump, or is it a strategy?
No, I think
I
it's
think,
both. I think it's both.
yeah.
I think they hate him. I think they also trying to they want to gaslight people of color, and that's why you're always going to hear me say it's
Oh,
Asians.
they want people to vote based off of emotion and not based off of reason.
Right, with critical thinking. So, but and they want to get under your skin, and they want to make you, oh, this guy's a racist and he's against you because you're Asian or you're Puerto Rican. So I want people to know in the city council. I mean, listen, if you stop the average person in the city and you say, how many council members do we have? They don't even know. They don't even know who that council member is or what district they're in. So I think at a minimum, I want people to know at City Hall, and that's why I was trying to go to City Hall and do some recording from the stated meeting. It doesn't really matter. I can still get my recording. I wanted to show the faces, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to show the faces of the Puerto Ricans, the Asians, the blacks. I don't care what people say about it. That's who's blocking us. Because in the city council, when they say fight back, you're talking to me about legislation. You're talking to me about the vote. I said, well, one of the biggest things you could do in advocacy is have a bill drafted and have the city council pass that bill. It becomes local law, regardless of what the issue is. That's advocacy in this city. So the only ones that are blocking our bills for the benefit of drivers who are 90% people of color are our own people, our black people, Asian people, Puerto Rican people. And I'm going to say it like that. They cannot take that from me. That is a pure fact. They the ones blocking us. They can blame Trump all they like. They can blame DJ07 for all they like. It's not him and it's not me. It's our own people. That's what I say. It's our own people blocking us. And it's not right. And people need to know that.
All right. Well, you know, appreciate you sharing that. Yeah. So
It's a
look,
fact. It's that
yeah.
fact. It's a fact. It's not. I didn't make it up.
So what else? Any of the particular things you got coming up?
Nothing right now. I'm just waiting for my next hearing to come up so I can go and testify and see if they're gonna block me from testifying because now I'm a little concerned that they're gonna say, well, you can't come in here and testify. That is censorship. Oh, let me mention to you this that a lot of people don't know. In the city council, you cannot applaud. You cannot use your two hands and clap. That is a freedom of expression. At city council, you cannot do that. Also, they give you 2 minutes to speak. That's also of a way of restricting you. Also, they say stay to the topic. If you don't stay on the topic, they cut off the mic. That's all censorship. All of that is censorship. When they do Zoom meetings, they cut off the video and they cut off the microphone until it's time for you to speak. So during a Zoom meeting, you're not even allowed to show your face. So that's also censorship. There's plenty of forms of censorship happening right in the city hall. Unless you agree with them, they will block you. And that's what they're doing with me. And that's absolutely wrong. Everybody should be concerned. I spoke to NJ Burkett of Eyewitness News. This is a veteran news anchor, news reporter, and this guy could care less. And I got him on video, and I said, "You don't care what's going on here?" His press pass is the same as mine. Some people might say, "Well, he's a professional and I'm not." That's not the point. The point is you don't know who's gonna break the biggest story in America or the biggest story in the city. You don't know who it's gonna be. It could be the little independent guy like me, or the news anchor that's got 40 years of history. So the thing is,
The thing is that I really believe that they write the story before they even go to the meeting.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They
yeah, and
have
then
a certain thing,
yeah, and
there's
they
a certain
change.
tone, there's a certain place where that story's going to go. It's going to be a certain number of characters.
Mhm.
That's what they care about. You know what I mean? Anything out of the ordinary, they see it going on because I've been around like a lot of stuff myself, right? Which they haven't reported on, significant things. I've written the editor. We've actually camped out in front of their offices, the news channel offices, gone to the newspaper, gone to the magazines. But the thing is that I've also been to not-for-profit, meetings where they give the press like $1,000 awards and all these other things, right? The
Yeah,
press is
yeah.
being paid off, and they're paid to cover the story a certain way.
That means they bought.
I
That
mean,
means
they're commercial press, right? Like, how do they pay for all those cameras and lights and studios and stuff?
well, Politico just got like $3 million of their money. Was it pulled or they were identified as
Yeah,
receiving?
and the thing is that, right? Actually, Chris Johnson told me about this one. He's like, during the Obama era, right? Because back in the days, the press would sometimes get politicians more. You know what I mean? So still,
Yeah,
once in a while, you'll see like a Wiener come out, or but Cuomo's winning Emmys and stuff now. The way that the politics has embedded itself with the media, right, has become closer, and now they're more in cahoots together. So they're not going to cover you.
yeah. Well, that's why in my case, I advocate, I edit my videos, I got a press pass, I do everything. We fight back, we advocate, we get bills drafted, we do it all. We do it all. We multitask because they're not gonna do it for us. And if they do it, they want you to get on your knees and lick their boots to get it done. And we don't do that. We're gonna keep our dignity. They're the elected officials. They work for us. They need to show that they're working for us. Now, Vicky Palladino and Christy Marmorato, it turns out they look like they're rhinos. They're rhinos, you know. Even
That
Curtis Sliwa, he's trying to run as a Republican, but he's a never Trumper. He's a never Trumper. So they try to use Trump, but they don't want to give Trump any credit. Trump is doing great work. He's
almost
auditing.
a lot of people that used to say bad things about him, right?
Yeah. What was that?
So Trump just I think Trump is a pragmatist. He just does what's winning. Honestly, Trump is not Jewish. He's not Palestinian. I don't think he really cares about the issue. I
Yeah,
think he sees, Israel money and also their power, which
yeah.
they've earned. And not saying it's all good or all bad, but the thing is that there are certain things about it that I could go into. I think I mentioned in my last newsletter about how actually Israel stole a nuclear bomb material from the United States. It's not always
Yeah,
been respectful from Israel's side either. But once again, right,
yeah,
no one's perfect, all good or all bad.
yeah.
Israel has some real issues that they've also gone through as well, and I'm not curious.
They have the right to exist like any other country. They have like any other people.
You cannot erase them.
You can't. You
As
can't.
long as people decide to identify themselves with Israel, it will always exist. You cannot
Pa,
erase the idea
Palestinians are
of
human
Palestine
beings.
as well. That's true for Palestine as well.
They,
So,
they're
you
human
know,
beings, and so are Israelis.
you can't kill the idea that they have with those nations. So it's going to exist, right? So you could try. It's got a little messed up, but hopefully not. But
Yeah.
anyways, look, so this guy TLC driver though, oh my goodness, let me share this guy. It's kind of disgusting. Okay, let me share it. It's in another window. Close this one. Oh, I can change the window. Hold up. So this guy's actually made a critical video of you, and honestly, I found it quite these people, they're supposedly empathic people that care about people's feelings, okay? But they kept calling you Joe Pesci and showing like someone like with their head burned and stuff. It's messed up, bro. I didn't appreciate that. Oh wait, are you still there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here. I just call came.
Okay. So here, right, this guy's Subway DJ, right? You see people saying, "I've seen that guy. He's a clown. I could stand
Yeah,
on him all day. So brave, standing behind the cop."
yeah.
All
But
right.
listen. When they say that I'm using the cops, the cops are there to do their job. I'm there to do my job, and they're there to do their job. If they are threatening me and they want to assault me, they should own up to their word and come attack me. Let them come at me. I'm gonna defend myself. They're trying to preach fear. We don't have no fear. I don't walk with fear in this city. I was born here. I'm not gonna walk with fear. Nobody's gonna. I only fear God. I don't fear man.
Look at this guy, Outlaw Nietzsche. I love smacking guys like that. This is messed up, man.
Yeah, but he doesn't show his picture. He doesn't show his name.
Anyways, so let me show you Subway DJ now. I'm a DJ myself.
Yeah,
Okay. And the thing is that even though he's a Subway DJ, right? Let's go through his Instagram. Okay. Do you see him helping, right? He's helping Palestinians, I guess, but do you see
yeah,
him helping any other artists or is it all about him?
yeah. Looks like him.
This guy's supposedly an activist, right?
Yeah,
What he does is he has these parties where a lot of people go in. He talks about celebrities. And what he also does is he talks to famous people and tries to get them on camera, right? Like Steve Bannon or those other people, right? And now he's trying to, or Jerry Seinfeld or Ellen Dershowitz. Now I agree with
oh,
him.
I
Oh,
see that
look,
that that
Jesus,
that.
or Jesus, there. Let me see what he says Dershowitz, because I'm not sure I disagree with him on this one, but
Let me see.
he's trying to ride other people, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Use them to get views. So he's trying to use you to get views. It is what it is, right?
yeah,
Uh, New York is not a real place. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Wait, this is this is John Tobacco and Caricature Nova. Oh my
no,
goodness, what's going on here?
yeah,
Let's see what's going on here.
Oh, you ratted on.
You're a snake.
Yeah, I'm a
You're a
snake.
snake.
I'm a snake. I'm a snake.
Look, Subway DJ, man. Yeah, like I guess you're an activist, right? But you're a progressive activist,
yeah,
and you're a successful progressive activist, which means that who are you helping, bro? Now you're using my man right here, setting him up, right? You see these aggressive you see these
Back the fuck up.
Subway DJ.
yeah.
As an activist, someone who cares for other people, this is not really looking good for your community. Now, I'm not saying my community is perfect either, but I haven't seen these kinds of comments on my material. Raul, you got any comments like this on your material, like saying that people could get stood on or on?
No,
You make a lot
what
of.
my I don't post none of that. I don't
I love
post.
smacking dudes like that in the mouth. Have you ever had comments on your stuff like this?
Yeah, I got a lot of hate. I got twenty
Oh, you
thousand.
do?
I got 20,000 followers on TikTok. I got a
Oh,
lot of.
I mean, like against you, or like, do you have like stuff like
I
saying
have
that?
I have I have more supporters than I do have haters. There's
But do
there,
your
but there,
supporters say stuff like this? No, right? Maybe some of them. I don't know.
no, I
I,
don't think so. I don't.
yeah, this
My
is whack.
my supporters don't
Okay,
preach hate. They follow a lot of what I do. They know that
this
that
is whack.
we're true
Well,
advocacy. Our advocacy is true.
okay. Look, I thought you're supposed to be these people are supposed to be like, sympathetic about people. They're not. This is
Yeah,
not. No, they're not all bad like this, okay? This is not cool.
yeah.
So,
But you
and
got to remember, social media.
that
It's
won't,
easy to do that. You don't have to go nowhere. You could do that while you're sitting in the toilet and make a comment. You know what I mean? Which really doesn't
so
mean
look, he
anything.
managed to Diplo. I don't know if you know Diplo, but he's pretty famous.
No.
He was name dropped on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. Don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of celebrities around him. What I mean, he's being carried, and we can see him with the marketing materials right here for,
Yeah.
they have the market. This is marketing right here. I'm not mad.
I'm not an artist. I don't sing. I'm
There's
not
a
a
lot of
movie.
money being made on this.
Yeah. Well, he's
How
trying to
many?
get.
I'm a war victim. So look,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm starting to gush on my own shit. I'm
Nah,
so
it's
sorry,
okay.
man. I have my own feelings about this stuff. But I
But
told you this trigger. Yeah.
he's trying to trigger people with that type of stuff and get a lot of views. And my videos. Listen, I was it it was what Freedom News TV. They did a video on me with me going after the governor. I didn't know, but it got 3.5 million views. You know, I didn't say pay me. Where's the money? I don't care about that. I'm not. I could monetize TikTok if I want. I haven't done that. You know,
I
my thing.
I'm actually blackballed, not only from the Democrats, by the way. I'm also, just so you know, I'm also blackballed against DJing for Republicans as well.
Mm,
Moms for Liberty just hired a DJ.
yeah,
Uh, Elena, actually, I shouldn't even name her, but she, just shout out to her. She was like, yeah, she was like, oh yeah, what about DJ stuff? And but no, other people in the organization shot it down. What I mean, I'm highly blackballed, and it's not only Democrats who do this.
yeah,
Sorry, right? Thank you, Elena. I don't want to get you in trouble with that, right? But
yeah, yeah. I know who she is.
it was
I
not.
know.
Yeah,
Well, I
she was
support
not.
moms for liberty. I support them.
She's yeah. She's. It's not just her on that organization. So
Yeah,
whatever. I'm not here to really yell at the organization. Overall, I'm supportive. They were right to support me to an extent. We'll see. I wasn't just not hired as DJ. Also, the early childhood education town hall got canceled. That's on the damn. That just came up.
Uh,
Yeah. But
can I just say, can I touch on Puerto Rico for a minute?
yeah,
Because I
absolutely.
being Puerto Rican and being born in New York as a son of Puerto Rican parents, you know, Puerto Rico is it's part of the U.S. It's a Commonwealth, and if the demise of the U.S. happens, that's also a demise of Puerto Rico. So if the U.S. is in trouble, Puerto Rico is in trouble. At this point, with all the history, we need each other. We can't say F America. Puerto Rico needs the U.S.
When
Uh,
you see people saying "F America," right? Because you've actually been at these events. I have not actually been at these events. You know what I mean? But when you
yeah,
go to these events and they say, and I also wonder why DeAndre is there too, right? She's not Jewish or
yeah,
Palestinian either. I also struggle to understand why
yeah.
she cares about this particular topic, right? Because there's a lot of topics that they could be caring about, but why this one, right? Kind of strange, but
No,
okay.
it's not. It's not difficult. It's very simple. We're Americans. We love this country, and we don't want to hear nobody saying
There's a
death to
lot of
America.
countries. There's a
That's
lot of countries. What about what about Eritrea? What about Ethiopia? What about
well,
what about
we're not saying
why do
that
you care
those
about this one?
because this is at the forefront. This is what's happening.
Or Colombia?
I don't see Ethiopians
Who
coming here and
who
burning
put
our
it on the
flag.
forefront?
Who put it on the forefront?
Yeah,
Well, Palestine
not
when they
me.
had October 7. When October 7 happened, everything changed.
For
They
a certain set of people, that wasn't me. I'm
well
not
they
saying that
but they
that's
attacked but
right or wrong. Actually,
they attack
I'm not
civilians.
because I know U.S. hostages were taken, right? But
Yeah, but
that's a
military is not supposed to attack civilians. Military is supposed to attack military. It's military versus a military, not
I don't
military
know, man.
versus civilians. They
I'm very
use
sensitive of everything.
they use hostages as shields. That's a known fact.
I'm not for hostages at all. Yeah, I made a
Mm.
video on that day. Yeah, for
Well,
hostages,
they can't fight back.
especially
Give the hostages guns. Let them fight back. They won't do that. If they give hostages guns, the hostages will fight back. They'll have a fighting chance. They don't have a fighting chance
I really don't
when you
really care. so much about it because honestly, I don't really trust any of the information, and I don't really, you know,
Some people
it's
say that October
not
7 was a lie. Some people
yeah,
say,
it's not
let me ask,
America.
do
Yeah,
you think October 7 was a lie? That didn't happen? Some people,
I don't know.
there are people saying that.
Honestly, I don't. I don't think it would take a lot of work to make up something like that. Like there probably some reality to it, but there's a lot of stuff that probably wasn't said. Look at how much is going on with you and me that is not reported. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like why if we can't even get real information about what's going on here in the United States or what we're actually doing and stuff, why would I trust something from another country? No way, man. Absolutely not. I don't even trust the news here
Right.
about what we're in, and I see what we do and I see what's not reported. How the
Mm.
hell would I? There's no way. Like I don't
Well,
know how you trust it.
a
I
lot,
don't get it. Okay?
a lot of those hostages were American citizens, and I believe them. I
Do you
believe
think that we're getting the real information about what's going on here in New York?
I
Do
don't
you
think
see
we're getting,
what we
I don't
talk
think,
about pricing and
no,
City of Yes? No
no,
one's
no,
talking
no.
about it. Only
Well,
us talk about it.
and we're not getting the, no, it's out there. People know about the city.
I
Yes,
didn't
they
know
know.
about that. I haven't
Yeah.
really seen.
Well, it's the wording is not helpful. You know, the city of yes. People go, what the hell is that? The city is pretty
Yeah,
confusing.
most
If
people don't know. They don't give a
yeah,
fuck.
it's called the city of yes
Yeah,
plan.
only we care about our little clique. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay because it's out there and the
One
people
day,
know.
let's go out for dinner. We go
Yeah,
talk to some random people about it, and we ask them if they know about what this shit is. They'll be like, "What the fuck is that?" We'll see,
yeah.
man. You want to put $5 on it? We'll put $5 on it.
There's people out there that do know, and there's
There are
people.
people who know. A lot of people
What's
don't.
Jonathan Rinaldi's
We'll
out
see.
there running, and he's putting it out there. You know, as a matter of fact, there's a lawsuit. The Common Sense Caucus is suing against the city of Yes. They're suing to stop it because it's nonsense what they're
And
doing.
look, City of Yes honestly isn't something that I've even dipped into so deeply, right? I have my own set of
Yeah.
things, my own set of issues that I've been. Honestly, I feel like I'm losing credibility because my issues are not winning. So I'm not.
Well, if you put on a Trump hat and then you support Palestine, that could make it very difficult. I've seen you
Candace
do
Owens
that.
does.
What happened?
Candace Owens does.
She supports Palestine,
I think so.
and she wears
That's
a and
there's
she's a
factions in all groups, right?
yeah, but
I'm
she's
not saying
losing.
that's good.
She's starting
Now,
to lose. She's
I'm not
starting
saying
to
that,
lose.
but I
She's
support. I'm overall supportive of the of the concept of you can't just go into another country and decide to like create new nations and then import people and then take the people that were there and start like messing with
yeah.
the government and stuff like that
Well,
because honestly
you can't go to a country and attack its citizens. That's what happened
do you know what happened in Korea?
in Korea. No, tell me.
No. Okay, so the thing is that the Koreans went through the when the I'm not saying I'm not a Holocaust denier, but I'll tell you that a lot of other people suffered, such as for example, right, you know that they say never forget,
Yeah.
right, and they were the victims of the Third Reich, correct? The
Which
Third
is
Reich, the Nazis are the Third Reich, right?
right. Okay.
You know what Reich means? It means like kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know that there was a Second Reich?
No.
There was a Second Reich. And when was the Second Reich? During World War One. Not very long ago, right? Just 4 years before World War Two. There was a Second Reich. You can look it up. I'll show you right now. I'll share my screen with you, okay?
Tell me. Tell me who it is.
Oh, absolutely. You're gonna remember because this is gonna the Namibians. Remember that guy from the Namibian president, Phil candidate, who came to the event when we went to Kamala's office? Right, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll show you right now. I'll share the screen with you. Hold up. So just so you know, the Korean Americans also went through a genocide from the Japanese that is also not acknowledged. Just the same way the Namibians are not. Okay, Namibia. Okay, Second Reich. Okay, hold up. This is gonna come up. Okay, German Empire, Second Reich, Other Reich, Second Reich before Hitler's Third. Okay, let's take the list right here. The Second Reich from 1871 to 1918. Look, it's right there. You know what I mean? It's right. It's the Second Reich is not that long ago. Okay, let me look up the word Second
So
Reich. You,
tell
you
me
see
tell
what
me who it
I'm
is because it's too. I can't read that. It's too small.
okay, make it bigger.
I can't read it. So I'm on my iPhone.
The second. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, can you see it now? The Second
No.
Reich.
No. It's all too
Look,
small.
I'm sorry, man. Yeah, look, I'll send you the link, but it says the Second Reich. It was until 1918. Okay,
Okay.
quite recently. And the thing is that the Second Reich actually, the victims were. Oh wait, Second Reich. I don't. I'm sorry, it didn't open up in. I'll highlight it. Wait, I don't see the.
But
Whatever.
listen. When it comes to history,
Yeah.
I can go back 400 years and I'm gonna look right. You can go back 500 years and you're gonna look right. Then I'll go back 600 years and I'm gonna look right. And then you'll go back 700 years and you're gonna look right. So at what point? And I'm not saying that history doesn't matter because it's very important. You cannot forget history because if you forget history, we'll repeat it. But my thing is, I'm 55 years old. I'm not 200 years old. I'm 55 years old. I'm an American citizen. People are not running from this country. They're running towards it, not from it. They want to be here, right? We also have to be vigilant that the people that are coming here are people that love this country and that do not hate us. Also, they need to be here for for true asylum, not because they want economic prosperity. You know what I mean? Maybe they don't like what they're getting paid in their country. They want to come here and make more money. You know what I mean? They want to come here, work 20 years, and then go back to their country. This is America. I was born and raised here. You know what I mean? We gotta protect our country. Otherwise, you don't see what's going on in Germany and the UK and France. It's crazy. You having all these Muslims all over the streets disrespecting the citizens. Ireland is ready to collapse. We got Conor McGregor that wants to run for president. I support him because he loves his country because he's an Irishman. He loves his country. I love New York
Okay.
City's the melting pot. I love my Asian community.
Look,
I
I don't know
love
about McGregor once again, right? I only know the people that work with me directly, right? All these
yeah
people like I. There's marketing teams that are really manipulating what kind of information we get. I don't trust none of it. So,
yeah. But
I just
listen.
watch. I enjoy watching him, but other than that, I don't believe anything. So,
He he
but I
he
know
went he went
you've
to the
been
White House. He went to the White House to meet the president. He loves his country. I could tell you that.
okay.
I
Maybe
believe. I believe.
I hope so.
Not. I
I don't
believe
know.
he.
I don't know. Yeah,
I
I don't know.
believe.
I
I
believe
believe.
you live about the country. That's good.
I believe he loved the country he was born in. I believe he loves his parents. I believe that he wants good for his country. I believe those
Now you're
things.
getting into all this other stuff, right? Now you're making it worse, right? I don't know if he loves his parents. That's too much, man. What I mean? I can't get into all of those. Now it's
Mm.
like expanding into like way other realms. Let's just stick to, how can you know?
I because he's saying it. We got to take his word for
I
it.
haven't
Just
watched
just
that.
just
I've
like
never
just
watched
like just like when I say something, I stand by my word. Yeah, I'm not a phony. I'm not a fake. You know what I mean? And that's one of my strongest advocacy points that I have. They know that when I go to City Hall and I'm saying something, they know I'm not talking bullshit. When I say it's not the white man blocking us, when I say it's not Donald Trump blocking us, and I say it's our own people, it's a fact. How many of the council members you met? But it's a fact. They're Asians, they're Puerto Ricans, they're Dominicans, and they're blacks. That doesn't mean I hate my people, but I'm telling you, it's our people that are blocking us, and our people are bullshitting us, and they're gaslighting us, and I'm not gonna accept that, and they know that, and I call it out, and they don't like it, and nobody. And like I say to everybody, I say this to everybody. Don't be anyone's sucker. That's what I say. No sea pendejo de nadie. I say it in Spanish and English. Don't be nobody's sucker. Nobody. Open your
So
eyes and
there's very little. There's some Asian American candidates, but there's no Asian American electeds on my show. Notice that?
reach out to them. Reach out to them.
No, no, they actually are blackballing me.
Well, you tell them, but then you tell them if you ignore one New Yorker, you ignore them all. That's what you tell them. You're a New Yorker, and if they ignore you, they're ignoring
So
everybody.
okay, here's another thing.
You could
That
tell them
makes
I
me
said. You could
kind
tell
of
them I said that too.
so if we take a look at you know who Grace Meng is?
Race man? No.
Grace Meng actually she's in the House of Representatives. She's actually a vice chair of the DNC, and she's
Okay.
the highest ranking Asian American um, you know, uh, legislator in New York State, and she has a lot of control um, over other candidates, or not candidates. I mean other electeds. So you
Yeah.
see, with John Liu, right, Ron Kim, she makes sure that they get certain funding because remember she has a federal seat, so she can, guide money towards the programs or
Yeah. She has
co-fund
she
stuff like
has
that.
the power of persuasion. I got it. She has.
Well, she also has the highest ranking seat, right?
Yeah.
But actually, let me show you something with something called open secrets. And I'm not saying Israel's wrong to do this, right? But I don't really. I feel like my people are being forced to, carry stuff for them, which I don't think is appropriate. I wonder how you feel about it. You let me know.
Nobody.
I'm gonna show you in a second. You let me know what would if they were doing the same thing to Puerto Rican or Puerto Rico, how you
Hmm.
feel about it. So
Well,
okay,
this the U.S. has done a lot of harm to Puerto Rico, but we didn't experience a
not everything's
Holocaust.
perfect, right? But maybe we can have a voice and we can actually be free to talk about it and try to get some change
Yeah.
and advocate for certain things, right? So that's
Every
cool.
every 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 country should try to do better for its citizens. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no
Okay.
crime in there. No
So
citizen should be against their country.
okay, so this is Grace Meng showing for 2024. Okay, and you could see that her number one top industry is pro-Israel, and her top contributor is Israel. Okay.
Right. Right.
Now the thing is that she gets $466,000 to the number one contributor, right? And the number two contributor is Deloitte, is with LLP, right? That's actually like a shadow government organization. That's about $14,000, right? And then the life insurance, that's like $11,000. If you take 466 and you divide by 13.8, right? Yeah, 133, 13.8, you're gonna get about what is it? 34 times. So her contributions from Israel outrank the next top 20.
Okay,
Do you see what I'm
listen. When it comes to money, if
saying?
she's if she's taking the money, regardless who's giving her the money, she can't be someone who could be trusted. She's not someone
You
that
should register as a
she
foreign agent.
no, she loses credibility. She loses credibility. They won't take her for real, and she's a bullshit politician. People should
And by the way,
that
if I go to our top contributors, are there any Asian American organizations here? Comcast, realtors, service employees, airline. Do
no.
you see any Asian American stuff here? You don't, right? She
If
doesn't
they
serve. The
if they gave
reality.
if they gave
Go
money,
ahead.
they probably would be there.
Do you see any? I think Unite here might be an Asian American organization.
Yeah.
Might be, okay, at the $10,000 level, which they could list anyone. Okay, that's the only one down around 17 or something like that, right? I don't
Well,
know.
that's why my group NYC Drivers Unite is not signed up as a nonprofit because we don't want money and we won't have these issues.
So the thing is that, right? Really, to tell you the truth, I'm not right. The Asian American are weak because of our numbers are small. So what happens is that our actually political agenda is actually commandeered to actually serve Israeli state interests instead of Asian American interests.
Well, if the if
I'm
there was
really
if there was
not
a
with
few if there was a few Asian American donors that gave more than the Israels, then they'll have more influence. It's all
if
about
Grace Meg's
money.
for sale, I can't say Israel's wrong to buy her up because she also injected a Chinese agent into, that worked for Hochul, Linda's son. That came from Grace Meg's office. Do you know about
It's
that?
no, I don't.
If
It's
she's
wrong.
for sale
It's
for one entity, for one foreign entity, she'll be for sale for another foreign entity.
right.
Israel is not America.
They buying influence, and
They
that's
are
not.
Israel. I'm not saying they're wrong to do whatever they want. Right? I'm not saying it's right for them
Yeah,
to be attacked or anything like that. Right? I'm saying that they have a right to exist. Okay, fine. Right? Yeah. But
yeah,
um, right. I'm saying right. Once again, they're another country over there. That's their problems,
yeah.
and I don't like
I
kicking them billions of dollars either.
I kind of agree. Our money should stay here for the American citizens. We gave billions of dollars to Ukraine. We're giving billions of dollars around the world, and now
Now, if they
Donald Trump
pay,
is stopping
if
that.
the, and I like the way Trump thinks. Right? If they pay for it, then I could see that. You know what I mean?
You
But
you
we
know
gotta
you
get
know
it
you know
back.
that
So
you
yeah.
know that the tariffs against the U.S. from Cambodia were 97%.
So
97%.
I feel like but I feel like Korea is very similar to Israel, right? If Korea's on the same timeline after World War II, the U.S. wants to have a presence in the Middle East. They want to have a presence in Asia. Why doesn't Korea get what Israel gets? Why are they less important?
Maybe we need to give more money.
Why are the Namibians less important? That's what I've been telling my people. I'm like, honestly, I'm like, I don't think it's really personal, right? You guys want to complain, revolution, blah blah blah. You need to stop it, okay? And an election is okay if you can't even take over a ballot box. You having your little
give
article telling you you're going to be a revolutionary. You're kidding yourself. You'll never experience true violence. You'll
give
never
give
experience
give
it like I
give more
did.
give more money and
Yeah,
be
like you,
a bigger influencer than Israel, and then people
these
start
they
listening.
listen to these casual ass academic professors. You think all the violence that happened to my parents didn't revisit itself on me? You think I ran with
Are you from North
think I
Korea?
ran with from the ages? Just because my problems are not acknowledged by this society doesn't mean that they didn't happen. The war revisited me. I'm a war survivor. People don't know what I've been through. They think because they've never seen my people suffer on TV that my people never suffered.
Yeah,
They are
yeah.
dead
Well,
wrong.
I know
Fucking
about.
wrong. They have no idea what I survived through.
They never bring up
Violence. They've never
Camp
seen it. They want to talk about
Cambodia.
revolution. Shut the fuck up. I
They don't
swear to you, you fucking revolutionary. Shut the fuck up.
they don't they
I'm sorry.
don't
Yeah,
they don't bring.
they've never experienced violence. They are out of their fucking
Well,
minds.
that's precisely why I say appreciate. You don't know what you got until it's gone. This is one of the greatest countries in the world, and everybody's running to get here. I'm not running to get out. There's people that are running to get out of here.
Let's live in a peaceful society, man. We don't need revolution. We can talk
We,
about it. So stop being
we
hardcore and stop threatening, right? Yeah, with I don't like the comments that I saw happen to you, man. That was
eh,
maybe it's good I don't get too big because
but
as messed
remember,
up as I
those comments are coming from trolls. They're coming from trolls. They're not showing their
I
face.
don't like
I show my face and I give my name. You gotta. That's important. They're doing what they're doing behind social media.
you're
They
not
don't.
helping anybody.
I know, but that's what makes them
Out
weak.
celebrities.
That's what makes them weak. And I say the hardest thing to do is always to come out in person, to fight in person in the streets, to come out to City Hall and give testimony, to call out some of the BS when people are trying to gaslight you and you realize and you say, wait a minute, you can't say that. That's I understand English. I understand what you're saying. It's not true. You know what I mean? You need to, you know that so many things have happened at City Council and City Hall and people and it went right through because people didn't want to offend nobody. Nobody wanted to stand up and say, you know what, that's bullshit. There's a lot of stuff that passed.
Yeah,
There's a
there's a
and
lot of stuff going on
simply because they didn't want to
every
offend anybody.
listen. Don't
Your
believe anything
feelings.
about it. Don't get worked about on Mahmoud's
I'm
behalf or
not.
against him. He's got a lot of support, so he's gonna be okay, right? Yeah, don't
Yeah, but I say if
worry
they
about the
got
people around you. You know what I mean? Take care of them.
if he's proven guilty, he's got to go.
Who knows? I don't trust anything. I don't trust anything. Look. I
Well,
got my own problems. I got other people that I'm working with that got real problems.
right. But
I can do this stuff.
he came to this country to study. He came to this country not to
I don't
do
know.
that.
You think he did? He could be a
Well,
foreign agent. Did you see his background about his write up about how he worked for some like UN like group or something like that? It
yeah,
sounds like
there was
doesn't it
stuff
sound
that
like an agent,
there was
possibly
stuff
maybe
that
CIA agent, maybe foreign agent. Who knows? I don't trust anything. See, Hillary
how
Clinton.
do what's your
Hillary
take on him? What's your
Clinton
take on what's your take
teaches
on
at teaches at Columbia.
yeah.
You cannot trust anything out of Columbia. Okay,
What
I
about
can tell you that much.
he comes out of Colombia. What's your take on Mahmoud Khalil? What do you think on him?
I don't trust. Listen, I don't trust anything around that whole situation. Just being Korean American and seeing how my own, like I told you what I experienced, right? I don't know if you saw my face, but I went through a lot, but it's just not talked about, so people don't think it ever happened.
Yeah.
I expect that everything happened about Palestine, Israel to be the same thing. I don't expect that you can trust anything about it. I don't expect that. I look at the way that what happened to me is completely people don't know about it. I don't expect to know about anything else either.
I don't know what
It,
happened. Tell me what happened to you.
we don't even know about what's going on with us. We don't even know, right? Yeah. Look at the work you do with congestion pricing. No one knows about that shit. I mean,
My work is really for the
bad, right?
taxi
But
driver. For the taxi
no,
driver.
they don't know
That's
who Jonathan Rinaldi is. The average person knows about the Eagles, or they know about, right? Yeah, they know about like the Jets or the Yankees.
yeah, but you got to
They
think
don't
about
know
it this
the
way.
yes.
Listen, we have a secret weapon and it's called social media. We also have smartphones and cell phones, and that's giving us a voice, and it has to be used correctly. You know what I mean? And you have a voice. If you have a voice and you can think before you speak, say the right things and exposure. Sunshine is very important. They don't listen. If they're blocking me at City Hall and they're giving me a hard time, that means I'm being effective. I'm doing something right. I'm pressing the right buttons, you know. Or in their case, the wrong buttons, but I'm pressing the right buttons, and people are listening. And
Hey,
one
whoever you
day,
is, man, I support you, man. You know,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah,
But we
help me, man.
we're not
So
we're not we're not doing
yeah,
nothing special other than fighting for our rights as a New Yorker, as an American, as a
yeah.
taxi
We're not
driver.
going to share all priorities or positions, but you
Right.
have my back and I have your back, and that's just how this works.
I don't say deaf. I don't say, deaf. I wouldn't even say deaf to Russia, and that's a
Look,
communist
Mahmoud
country.
Khalil never had my back, so I'm not saying like I'm for him or against him, right? He has my
Yeah,
back, his back, but
I don't.
he
I
got
don't. I don't. I'm not
he
saying.
got here. He's talking to a whole bunch of other people that will never talk to us or don't want to talk to us.
I'm
Fuck
saying
all of them. Worry about you and me.
if
I'm
they
not saying
invest
like
if they investigate him and they find enough to send him back, then he's got to go. I cannot go to another country and disrespect that country. There's a lot of people doing that, and people need to realize that. And us citizens
I
should
don't know.
be
I don't know what
should
happened.
be.
I can tell you what I heard. Not that I even know that it's true,
No,
right?
forget about him for a second. I cannot go to another country and disrespect that country because I'm asking for trouble. Period.
So, yeah,
And
I agree with that.
and nobody should come here and do that. And I will even say this: if you, let's say you're from Miami or from Boston or you're from California, don't come to New York and disrespect us here. Go back to
Yeah,
California. Go back to Boston. You know what I mean?
works for
I
me.
mean, I had a council member. I was in the face of a council member. We putting her on
But what?
spot.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, so what did he actually do though?
Who?
This Mahmoud Khalil guy? Because I don't even know. Like, what did he actually? I know like he was around that stuff. Did he ever actually like say like is there a video of him saying like "Death to America" or something like that? Like, is there?
Well,
Where's that?
I'm not saying he said that, but they're saying that he's connected with Hamas. They're saying that he's a
Maybe
sympath.
like all this super spy shit. I
Okay,
don't know. Whatever.
okay, but
Okay.
so that they
At that
can't.
level, if there's just some evidence I could look at real clear, I'd be like, oh, that's easy one,
Well,
two, three. But
that's right.
once
That's
I
what.
hear about like he used to work for this agency that sounds like it's like a CIA op, that sounds like or a
Okay,
foreign
okay, but
op.
that's not gonna get that's not gonna get
It's way
resolved.
beyond me, man. I'm
That's
just
not
the
gonna.
DJ and
Yeah,
and
but
the activist.
that's not gonna get resolved in this interview. That's why we have the court system. Hopefully, the court system will work for him.
Let's wait for the
If
court. Exactly. How
Yeah,
about that? Yeah.
yeah, we want the court system to work for everybody. But if he slipped up and he was preaching hate and they got that on him, he's got to go.
You know, but there's is this Korean girl right now. I think that she also has been able to stay,
Yeah,
but I think that I think that she's a lot of Koreans have this experience where they were displaced. There's a lot of skepticism
yeah,
about like installed governments in new areas because of what happened in Korea and
yeah.
the similarities to I don't think Israel really existed before World War II, did it?
But if she's Korean, and now she finds herself in the U.S., she should be grateful that she's here because she will
There's
not
other
be.
people. There's other look. There's other people that were. Did she say death to America? I don't know what happened, right? Once again, I gotta see the evidence, right? Like, did she get arrested at an event? Was she breaking stuff? Like, oh, if
Oh,
she
okay,
is,
okay. Hey,
okay, I can see it, right?
here,
If she just,
here. Let me.
why? I'm not sure.
Here, I'll give you here.
I don't know. So, but I think
Since
that, yeah,
you don't trust a lot, I'm gonna give you something to think about. I said, why did you see me out there protesting? Did you see me covering my face? I didn't cover my face. Why are they covering their faces? That should concern you.
it's well, it's just
It's
I
deceiving. There's
the
something
energy
wrong
that you
there.
see in the comment section of that video. I didn't. I felt like it's the same type of like I'm a thug mentality. All right, look, Puerto Rico been through some stuff. Like if they wanna go, then okay. I'm not really crazy about it, but if they want to escalate the violence, then
We got a lot of dirty
what's the violence?
politicians.
Okay,
We got a lot of dirty politicians in Puerto Rico that belong in jail.
that's
We got
ridiculous.
there's a
Look, I
lot
don't
of
know if violence has been around.
there's more dirty politicians in Puerto Rico
I
than
don't
there
believe
is
it.
here in New York.
So if
You
they
know,
want to go, they can. Then we can go there. I
I
don't think
was I was
believe
getting it.
they're
I
talking to
was
someone who never really experienced violence. That's what they talk tough.
I
They
was
talk tough. They're full of
I,
shit.
I was calling out council member Alexa Aviles, who's Puerto Rican, right? She's telling me I'm calling her out for the phoniness that she is. She was for the city of Yes, right? But in Red Hook, the industrial area of Red Hook, they are building 10,000 luxury apartments, and she's against that. And I said, how can you be against the luxury apartments at the Brooklyn Marine Terminal, right? When you are for the city of Yes. So you for the city of Yes when it comes to the whole entire city.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know.
It's hold on.
I don't know about that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
She's for the city of Yes. It's public. Her statement for the city of Yes is public. She is for the city of Yes for the whole entire New York City, except that little district of District 38, which is her district. She's against the developers putting up 10,000 new luxury apartments. Why she's against it? She's against it because this is an election year. She's against it because it's her district, and the community is against it. And if she went against the community, they will vote her out. Then now they're trying to delay the vote, right? On developing those luxury apartments, and the delaying of the vote is only going to help the council member. So I told her in her face that you're a hypocrite and you're gaslight in this neighborhood, and you cannot vote against them because they'll vote you out. And then what she does, she tells me, go back to the Bronx. That's what she tells me. A New York City council member tells me to go to the Bronx. You
I'll
know
be
what?
honest with you. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. The city, yes, I haven't really had time to really research. I know like a lot of people been talking about it.
Yeah.
I've been really kind of busy with other like things,
Yeah.
like public housing, like the disability stuff. So the city yes stuff, I don't really understand it yet. But I wish you guys the best of luck. And the congestion price is very easy to understand, right? But
Well,
the city yes,
the city of Yes is about zoning regulations in the city. They wanna lift the rezoning regulations in the city. So the
and then
developers
something.
so that, no, listen, it's very simple. It's not hard. They want to. We got zoning regulations that go back into the '60s. They want to lift them, right? At the city council, they want to lift those regulations to make it easier for developers to build wherever. So you can have a house here, and right next to your house, they're gonna build a 15-story building. As simple as that. That's all it is. It's giving all the power to the regulators, the developers, instead of giving it to the people.
It sounds
The
about right. I mean, things move for the industry, right? The
Yeah, but
industry.
it should move for the it should benefit the people. It should not benefit the developers. The developers are few. The people are many, and it's going to benefit a few, and it's going to take away from the people. And that's what the city of Yes does. That's why a lot of people are against it. She
Yeah, people on
she
both
was
sides against it. Yeah,
Yeah, but she's a hypocrite because she was for it. The
and she
council
was.
member Aviles was for it, but then and when it comes to her district, she's against it. I said you can't be against the city of Yes only in your district, but it's okay for the rest of the city. That makes you a hypocrite. You're a liar. And then she's telling me that I don't know policy. I don't need to know policy. You are for the city of Yes, and you are for the developers. As simple as that. And then she tells me, go back to the Bronx. And I tell her, go back to Puerto Rico. That's what I told her because she's from Puerto Rico. I said, go back to Puerto Rico.
In the public housing world, she was okay, but not saying that anything's really happened yet there. I don't really know about
She's listen.
last week.
Council member Alexa Aviles was with the Sherman Foundation, who distributed money throughout the city to all
Oh yeah,
these
I
non.
did see that. This is
Uh,
unfortunate. Yeah, there's this kind of
uh,
like this not for profit four hundred
yes,
thousand dollars type of
they in
charity.
2023 they gave. I think 2023, or I forgot what year. I missed the year, but they gave her the Sherman Foundation where she was working at gave $50,000 to transportation alternatives. So she was giving money throughout all these nonprofits, which helped her get into office. They lobbied for her, they pushed her in, they campaigned for her, and they got her in to City Hall. She went from 168,000 a year to 150,000 a year as a city council member. It doesn't make sense, but she is not grassroots. She's not organic, and she's not for the people. And that's easy to see, and that's easy to say. And they don't like it. They don't they You know what they want from you and me? They want you to shut up. They want you to be quiet. But remember, there was a time, and I'm old enough to know, there was a time when we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have social media. We can't do what we're doing. So we can reach, this video can reach thousands, if not more. And people will take the time to listen and say, you know something, maybe I should pay more attention.
Damn, I
Before
wish
I,
I had an audience like that, but I really don't. I just
you
let
have
you know, yeah.
you just
Just yeah,
have yeah you
not
have to be careful who you shake hands with. Who you know what I mean?
yeah, appreciate
That's
you coming
all.
up about it. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen here,
Thank you.
but maybe you know what I mean. I think maybe even I think your TikTok is stronger, so you have a bigger audience there, so it's more likely
No,
to
no,
be.
never. You never know which interview is gonna go viral. You got to give it time. That's what
You know,
happens.
I'm just interested in just for historical reasons because I've always
It's
wondered why you and DeAndrea, right? Like why you guys even care about this issue, why you guys even trust the information around the issue enough to
yeah.
be working on it.
You
You
don't
know
you
what I mean?
don't you don't you don't have to trust all the information. You know, you when you hear people say "Death to America," that's enough for me. When you hear people
I
chanting
haven't, but
and
I
you hear,
could,
I've
you know,
heard it, I've heard it, and Antifada. When I say Antifada, when they
these
burning
these
when
people
they
are, yeah.
when they're burning the American flag. No, I listen. No
I think
flags.
that's Fada.
Listen,
Yeah,
no flag should be burned. Not even the Palestinian flag should be burned. All flags should be respected because they represent a people. And when you burn the flag, you burn the people, and that you can't do that. You
yeah.
can't do that. That's not right.
Well, you know, once people start burning American flags, I don't think they'll like it. But the obvious response will be start burning Palestinian flags.
You know that the Puerto Rican flag was
But really
created.
getting into this kind of like a stupid war. No,
You
I
know
don't know.
you
So,
you know that
agree with you.
The Puerto Rican flag was created and designed right here in New York City in the Lower East Side. You know that people went to jail because that flag, it was treasonous to have that flag. It was not right. And then that was the US against Puerto Rico. But times have changed, and that flag is respected today, and that's why Puerto Ricans proudly display that flag. I got it tattooed on my body, and people display that flag, and I got it on my hand. I carry it everywhere. It's a flag of defiance, a flag of fighting back. Does that mean that we have to hate America? I don't know. Do we at some point you have to say, you know what? We fought, we are here, and we're not going nowhere. And I believe that.
Look,
Whether
we are
whether
American. This well, we are getting to decide what this era is. So by being
what
people, we're making this American thing better.
I think
But that's why
whether
it's
Puerto
just
Rico becomes a
it's all just
state or a state, if Puerto Rico becomes a state or stays the way it is, I think it's the job of the people to preserve our culture. Not no law, not no US is gonna take our culture away. The people will let the culture disappear. Because when I was a kid, all my friends they used to say, all right, don't speak Spanish, don't speak Spanish, like it was a taboo, it was no good. All right, but now I look like a smart guy because I speak English and Spanish. And it's our duty to preserve our culture. We gotta preserve our culture.
appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. I wish I spoke some Korean. Yeah, but
We preserve our culture plus the US. You know what I mean? If you spoke Korean, that would be
America's many
awesome.
cultures, right? America's many cultures. Actually,
Right, right,
that's
right,
actually one of its strengths. Yeah, so
right.
it's actually really cool about America.
New York City, the melting pot.
Hey, it's good. You know, I enjoy really the food diversity is amazing. That's why I can't move anywhere else. New
Yeah,
York is it for me. Yeah, I really
yeah,
it's a great place to be. So I'm really loving
yeah.
it here. Definitely, you're one of the reasons why I love being in New York, man.
I,
Your advocacy and stuff like that. It's inspiring. So I appreciate hanging out with guys like you. Um, and you know,
I appreciate the time and thank you for the channel and thank you for just doing what you do. Your voice is important. Yeah, you just got to put it out there. Just like I said, don't be nobody's sucker. You know, operate with truth and love, and that's it. Then and
yeah.
don't walk with fear. Don't walk with fear. Don't walk with fear. Don't fear no man. Fear no man.
But as long as
I'm
you live
not.
a life to be proud
Does
of, we're
yeah?
all gonna
Does
have. So
it doesn't mean that I can't get hurt. I can't bleed. I can't get assaulted. It's already happened. It's already happened. But I'm gonna fight back. I'm gonna fight back. I'm gonna
that's all you could do.
if I have to do it with my physical fist, I'm gonna fight back. I'm not gonna let nobody just hit me. I have the
Yeah,
right to you have the right to defend yourself, and so do I.
whatever. Yeah, exactly. Hey,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Just let it happen?
Right. You
No,
gotta. I'm not. We don't have. I'm not a cat. I don't have 9 lives. I only have one.
exactly.
You know.
I am good with that. I agree with that. So, hey, man, this is yeah. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but all right. So just try to enjoy yourself. I know you guys are going out. I actually talked to some of the guys from the GOD actually.
Yeah.
Robert, yeah, he's like still going out. I was like, why are you guys going out? I would
I'm
just
going.
right one, right? Just I'm doing other things right now, trying to make.
I'm going. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna be out there. I'm out
You
there.
know
I'm
what?
out there.
Actually, why don't you have a town hall for taxi drivers? They're pretty powerful.
I could. That's a good idea, but I don't know if they'll come out. You know what I mean? I'm not the type of person to say you have to come out. It's a free country. You come out if you want to come out. If you don't want to come out, don't come out. They probably prefer to, not miss a day of pay and work instead. And then when you have a town hall, you have so many ideas clashing that makes it very difficult. You know what I mean? They tell me I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do. I said, what are you doing? I said, let me do what I got to do, and you do what you got to do. If we could connect somehow and make something happen and support each other, that's better. Not simply do what you tell me to do. As if I'm the one that's going out into the streets, I'm the one that's going to city council and testifying, and I'm the one out there fighting. It's really hard for you to tell me what to do when you're not doing it, because it's easy to tell somebody else what to do. It's harder for you to do it yourself.
I think I have some contacts. We'll see if I can get them to you. Yeah, and maybe we can set something up. That would be interesting. I think also that there's a lot of taxi drivers in General Commerce District, and I know that
Yeah,
Christopher Johnson actually
yeah.
filed a what has he filed? He filed a he challenged for petitions. That's hilarious.
The lady that's running for
Christopher
public
Johnson.
advocate?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He challenged for petitions. I don't know if
Wow.
he did that for Angela on his own, but that's hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty ballsy for Christopher Leon Johnson.
Well, she's a
I saw the
bootlicker
paper.
to she's a bootlicker to Eric Adams.
Yeah, they actually.
And Eric Adams is always going to have like that exclamation. Wait,
Oh,
hold on. He's guilty because if he believed in his innocence, I said go to court. I'm innocent. Take me to court. Let's go to trial. Let's do it. I'm innocent. But
I
he
don't trust the
buckled
law
under
system.
pressure. Yeah, he buckled under pressure, right? How come he didn't go to court? He goes,
I
no, no,
don't.
no.
You trust the
He
legal system? I
huh?
don't trust. Would you
I
trust the
don't I
legal?
don't I don't trust it. I don't have to trust the legal system. I trust myself. I know that I'm
I
not
wouldn't
doing
want
nothing
Chris
wrong.
wrongfully convicted. Like this is people
Yeah,
that have
I
letters from the district attorney
yeah.
saying that the evidence used against him was faulty. Like and still not exonerated. Like there is. I do not trust the legal system at all. Okay.
Yeah, I
You have
think
two
it's pretty
people. Yeah.
it's pretty sketchy. But if you carry yourself the right way, you should come out on top. The odds will be on your side. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Nobody's giving me money. I don't owe the,
Right.
I don't have non-profits collecting money here and there. Right now I'm out of work. So
Oh yeah. Let me see if I can get you the. Yeah. I'm gonna send you some information about this guy. He's actually might be able to get you paid decent. There's some petitioning jobs coming real soon.
all
I'm patch you in. That's why
all
you got to
right,
get on this county committee stuff, man.
all right. We'll
Pat.
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
All right, bro. Have a
All
good
right,
one. All right.
all right. Thank you
God
so
bless.
much. God bless.
Peace. All right, just